Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Actually, I have no idea, no topic. Yes.
Um, Recently, there's been a lot of stuff in the news.
Yeah.
Have you seen this news article about? Let's see. Let's see if I remember it. Um,
Musician.
oh, China.
Mm.
There was China up until recently. China was really big on cryptocurrency.
Quick run.
Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, they were really big on it.
Mm.
They did a lot of cryptocurrency mining. But last week, without warning, they made cryptocurrency illegal.
Illegal.
Yeah, they made it illegal, so you can no longer use cryptocurrency in China.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a lot of reasons for that. A lot of things
Oh.
that are going on. But
I didn't know the Bitcoin is from China.
well, no, it's American.
It's American.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the way that it works, it requires a lot of power, a lot of energy.
Mm.
And in America, there's laws to limit how much people can use. Right? There's limits. China does not have those limits.
Mm.
So using Bitcoin and making Bitcoin in China became really popular.
Yeah.
However, now it's illegal. And there's a couple of reasons why. The first reason, China's economy is not very stable. So the Chinese government is really afraid of people taking money out of China.
Yes.
Second reason, Bitcoin is really anonymous. There's no way of tracking like where the money is going. So if people use Bitcoin to take money out of China, it's really easy to find to do. And the third, it's really energy intensive. So right now they can't afford to lose energy to Bitcoin mining. So those are the three reasons. Are you familiar with Bitcoin?
I hear the name,
Mhm.
Bitcoin name. I watch my favorite YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
He invest the Bitcoin, and he expressed the people to how much money he can get from Bitcoin investment. I'm not sure, but 30% plus 30% he get money.
Yeah, I mean it's really popular right now for people to invest with
Yeah.
Bitcoin because it's growing. There's a lot of negatives to that. Again, like I said, it takes a lot of energy. So, energy production requires a lot of carbon, coal, right? And it creates a lot of pollution. So that's one. The other, it's decentralized. Do you know what that decentralized means?
I don't know.
Centralized means someone controls everything in the middle, right? So in Japan, money is centralized.
Centralized.
The government controls money
Yeah.
in Japan.
Mm.
The government makes money, they print money. That's a centralized.
Ah, I know.
Yeah. If it's decentralized, not centralized, who controls the money?
People.
Yeah, that's why Bitcoin's so popular. It's a decentralized. People control it, right?
Is how can I say? I don't know.
Try.
Is it a new money system?
Yes.
Bitcoin.
Yes.
Bitcoin system. Oh.
Yes. So that's what's so attractive. It's a money system that's decentralized. It's not connected to any government. So you can trade anywhere around the world using Bitcoin with no exchange, or anything. It's decentralized, right? So that's awesome.
I understand. If I have a Bitcoin, you have a Bitcoin. If I change the same worth, right?
Yeah, right.
If I Japanese money or US dollar exchange.
Yeah, there's some
Can you-
loss in the exchange rate, right? Because of you have to have a middle person to change. For example, like you said, you have Japanese yen, I have US dollars, and you want to buy my phone.
Mhm.
This is 500 American dollars, right? You can't give me gomaen. You can't give me 50,000 yen.
Yeah.
I can't use that. So you have to exchange your money to American dollars.
Yes.
And in that exchange, you lose money, right? Fees and bank, there's some loss there. But then if you do that, you can change. With Bitcoin, you don't need to worry about that.
Oh.
I say, 1 Bitcoin.
One
And you're like,
Bitcoin.
okay, cool.
1 Bitcoin.
1 Bitcoin, and then that's it, right?
Okay.
So it's great in terms of trade.
Okay. If you buy my phone 1 Bitcoin, you pay my 1 Bitcoin.
Right.
Oh.
So there's no exchange rate loss. It's great
Mhm.
for that transaction. But
How can exchange real money?
so there are places where you buy Bitcoin
Mhm.
with money. You use real money to buy Bitcoin, and then you have a Bitcoin wallet that has all of your money, and then you use that to use Bitcoin to buy and sell things
Mhm.
with Bitcoin. That's a really great system
Mhm.
for trade. But do you see any problems that might happen with that? Let me give you a little bit more information to kind of make this a little bit easier. If, let's say, I want to buy, this laptop,
Mhm.
right? But I buy it from Kaise or someone,
Mhm.
and that person stole it from you. It's stolen, right? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
illegal for me to buy it. It's not legal. If I buy it with my credit card, there's a record of who bought it when, right?
Mhm.
If I pay with a credit card,
Yeah.
it has my name, it has my account number.
Mm.
It shows that I paid that person for this laptop,
Mm.
even though it was stolen. So that's against the law. If they find the laptop, or they can look through bank records, they can see, Will bought that laptop. That laptop was stolen. Will broke the law. And I get
Oh,
arrested, right?
you?
Yeah, because there's a record of the transaction. You know who bought what when,
Mm.
right? Bitcoin, even though it's digital, does not have that. There's no
Mm.
record
Um,
of transactions.
It's disadvantages.
It's decentralized. So we don't know,
Mm.
like, who's doing that. So you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Because we don't know the nature of these transactions. A lot of activity that you want to hide, you can hide with Bitcoin.
Okay.
So do you see how this can be a problem?
I'm not sure, but I feel like it's not reality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I want to roller or any food, it's not Bitcoin money.
Mm-hmm.
Roller is 100 yen.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to change the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
How can I say?
The biggest thing is, I think, if people in Japan are really used to using money, so it's very difficult to imagine how Bitcoin really works. I think you have to look back a little bit more, one step in between like money and then Bitcoin. Digital money. like PayPay or
Oh yeah.
even the T-Point card or like Apple Pay, all that stuff, right? Credit cards. There is some physical money tied to that because it's tied to your bank account, whatever, right? That's the step in between money and Bitcoin, right? The advantage with digital money is that you don't need physical money. Like you don't have to carry around
Yeah.
like 5,000 yen coins. You don't need that. It's a card, right? But we go back to the same thing. It leaves a record of all of the purchases and transactions. You can go in. I can easily go in here, go to my bank app, and then look how much money I have.
Yeah.
Right? Bitcoin, you can't do that.
Really?
You can't track.
Why?
Because it's decentralized. There is no one organization controlling the money. Like with a bank app, in my case, my bank is controlling my money. It's centralized. They know everything. Bitcoin.
But we know how much Bitcoin.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
But we don't know other people. We don't know where that money came from. If we really wanted to know, like if you had UFJ, I had UFJ, and the police had UFJ, they can really find out, like, oh, Kenta bought this, Will bought this at this day, right? With Bitcoin, there's no way of knowing that, right? You know how much Bitcoin you have. I know how much. No, you know how much Bitcoin you have, and then I can sell you something, but there's no record of that transaction, right? So because of that, it's really easy to hide stuff that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
With Bitcoin, stuff like that. However, this goes back to my original topic. Bitcoin is very useful.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's very useful for international trade, international transactions. It's also kind of dangerous because you can hide a lot of stuff that you couldn't hide with real money. But China decided to make it all illegal.
Bitcoin.
Yes.
Why? They control the people.
Probably. Probably. I mean, there's a few reasons, like really, really big picture reasons. But when they made it illegal in China, people who use Bitcoin freaked out. They panicked. Because China was the one that was making the most Bitcoin. They were producing a lot. If you had Bitcoin, would you want governments to stop the use of it, to make it illegal? Let me rephrase the question. Let me change the question. Is it okay for the government to say you cannot use Bitcoin? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Why?
Actually, I didn't understand with difference between government system and Bitcoin system.
Government system, the government controls everything. Right? So they can see all of the transactions, they know what's going on, they have control over everything. If they want to
what is the problem?
With Bitcoin?
No, recording to government.
I
have no problem.
No, that's fine. This is the system we live in, right? So it's kind of normal for us.
Yeah.
The problem comes in with international transactions, right? Because in Japan, everyone uses the yen. In America, everybody uses the dollar.
Yes.
So how do you conduct trade? How do you buy and sell things internationally?
Yeah, we have to change the money.
Yeah, and who makes money when you do that?
Government.
Yeah, or banks. Right, the person who's in between that, they can bring up the value and pull down the value of money, and they make money based on that, right? So it's inconvenient. Not necessarily bad, it's inconvenient. With Bitcoin,
It's depend on the government situation.
right,
Yeah.
or the bank in the middle.
Mm.
They get to decide like what the rate is, how much you have to pay to change that money. In Japan and America, we have a really good relationship, so it's not a big problem. But then if you have like another country that has a bad relationship or they're not very good economically, the bank is less willing to exchange, right? So that's a problem.
Mm.
When you have a decentralized system, like Bitcoin, it's not controlled by governments, it's kind of free from this, then you have more opportunity to trade freely and equally, right? Which is good. There's no control, there's no exchange rates. You buy your Bitcoin in your money and then you trade with Bitcoin, right? That's great.
Yeah. I understand, but that's a business.
Right.
Yeah. How can we raise the money? Japan is good at car industry
Right.
and export the
Right.
other country
Right.
and get high money.
Right.
If I change the Bitcoin, how can get money?
You make Bitcoin. People make Bitcoin with their computers. That's what's happening. And that's why it's kind of, in one section that makes Bitcoin kind of dangerous. To have more Bitcoin, you have to make Bitcoin. And you would have like a room with computers all making Bitcoin. If you have like 30, 40, 50 computers all doing Bitcoin, think about how much energy and power that takes.
So we can set this car is 10 Bitcoin.
Right. But you can buy more Bitcoin. That's one way of getting Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin. The other way of doing it is making Bitcoin. Right? And like I said, you have a computer working to make more Bitcoin. What a lot of people in China were doing is they were had like rooms filled with computers, all of them making Bitcoin. Like 500 computers in a place, just Bitcoin. So if you have 500 computers working really hard, 24 hours a day, how much power are they using?
Yeah. Can I make a Bitcoin?
Yeah, you can make your Bitcoin with a computer.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, but it requires a lot of energy. If you use your laptop to make Bitcoin, you're gonna kill the battery. And so you need a computer that you connect, like a desktop. But then to make Bitcoin that you can actually use, it needs to do it all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time.
Confusing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I think the big takeaway, at least one of the reasons why I think it's kind of important, because people make Bitcoin, and the amount of energy it requires to make Bitcoin is so high. It's not good for the planet. Okay, so in that sense, China saying no to Bitcoin is good for the environment. On the other hand, it's bad for business, right? Because if there's, you have a country that says no Bitcoin, other countries can do that too, and it limits how much you can use Bitcoin for. So that's bad.
Yeah.
I am very I'm very pro-environment. I like the planet Earth. And China saying no to Bitcoin helps the planet, which is good for me. I like that. But I also recognize that Bitcoin's really useful, and just giving an outright ban saying no more Bitcoin might be a little too much. It might be too harsh.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna ask you. I know you said it's confusing, but
Mhm.
given those two situations, Bitcoin is bad for the environment, but it's good for trade. Which do you think is more important?
Wrong.
Which do you think is more important for us to focus on? The environment or trade and making money?
I have one idea.
Yes.
If I want to use only Japan, I think I only use the Japanese yen.
Right.
If I something trade other country, I use the Bitcoin.
Mm.
Yeah, that's useful for everyone.
Right. So using Bitcoin as an international
Mm.
currency. Yeah. I think that's a pretty good idea. No, but Bitcoin is new. And it only came out in like
when Bitcoin start?
If I remember correctly,
Super recently,
it was very recently,
1 year ago, 2 years ago,
2009,
2009.
so less than 10 years ago.
Mm.
It was invented by a Japanese dude. His name was Satoshi Nakamoto.
Mm.
So he created the technology to make that happen. And the first Bitcoin transaction was a pizza.
Mm. 10 years ago,
Yes.
when I was elementary school student.
Yes. I think for your idea to work well, I think your idea is a great idea.
Mm.
You need international cooperation. People,
Yeah.
the country need to work together to make rules on how to use Bitcoin. The problem with something like this, because it's so new, 10 years ago, governments and people are really slow to make effective rules for stuff that is new, like Facebook or Line,
Mm.
Denshimani. Right? It's really difficult to make good rules, and it's going to take time for the system to work out, I think. However, I'm really excited to see where this goes next, because kind of going back to this, like I said, making rules is difficult. China's rules, like no more Bitcoin.
Mm.
Do you think that's going to change how people view Bitcoin?
Chinese, about Chinese.
Well, yeah, because the Chinese government,
Mm.
for whatever your opinion on it is,
Chinese government don't want to use Bitcoin,
Yeah.
right?
so they made it illegal. They said
Mm.
no more Bitcoin, right?
So your question is how can we connect with Chinese?
It's a little different. Why, if China said no, if China was the first one to make that rule,
Mm.
no more Bitcoin, do you think other countries, other places will make different rules for Bitcoin? China was the first.
Yeah. Yeah, it's big problem.
There's a country in Latin America, El Salvador.
Mm.
El Salvador decided to make Bitcoin its money.
Yeah.
So they use Bitcoin as their money.
Mm.
No, not their like Salvador money. Bitcoin is their money.
Okay, I understand.
So those are the two extremes, right? Saying no more Bitcoin and making it illegal, or saying only Bitcoin and only using Bitcoin.
Mm.
Those are the two extremes. Do you think other countries will start making rules too?
Yeah. The government have to make legal.
The government has to make some rules,
Mm.
right? Whether it's going to be illegal or not, and to what degree.
Mm.
Your idea is a great idea.
Yes.
using domestic money, domestic currency, and then for international trade, Bitcoin.
Yeah. But so we have to share the legal about Bitcoin.
Yes.
But so we have to some meeting to other country.
Right.
Yeah. But American has a big power. So I think American can influence other country. So Bitcoin rules, American rules. It's gonna be, I think so.
I think you're onto something. I think because America's, like you said, America's so powerful, whatever rules they make tends to be the rule. However, China is also becoming more powerful. So their rules are becoming rules in other places. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when these two start trying to decide. Japan is stuck in between the two. So, do you think Japan will follow American rules or Chinese rules?
I don't know Japanese situation, but I can decide that which is correct. I don't know.
It's a difficult situation to be
Yeah.
in, being in between the two, right? I think Russia is really siding with China. Russia and China, maybe Iran, are moving towards that direction. The United States, the EU, they're moving towards the other direction of making it more open. Where Japan falls in there is going to be really. It's an open question. It's an open question. We still don't know. So, kind of a related question to this. Not just with Bitcoin, but in other situations, like you said, the United States is so big when they make rules, those rules decide. Do you think that those rules are correct? Or you can pick one area and say, this is correct here, or this is not correct here.
I don't know.
I think, this is my opinion, that Japanese people should look outside and look at the news outside and see what's going on outside of Japan. Because if you focus just on Japan, it's really difficult to see what's changing and what's happening around
Around the world.
Around the world. And by the time it's time for Japan to decide, it'll be too late. Other people have already decided for you. So it's a good idea for you guys to start looking out and seeing what's going on.
Yeah. As you know, I'm studying English. It's related with the Japanese idea, Japanese thinking. You know, Japanese is not good at English, so Japanese feel like comfortable living in Japan, so we don't have to watch that around the world because now it's comfortable for us. But you say we have to watch that around the world. Yeah. I think the first step is studying English.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true, especially because a lot of the information out there, especially information that's neutral, most of it you will find in English. Information in Japan is very, very difficult to find completely neutral sources.
I think Japanese has a lot of taboo. Yeah. I think if I want to, how much get money, it's
Yes.
uh,
It's difficult to ask, yes.
yes. Is that the Japanese, only Japanese?
Uh,
Or American is?
There are some taboos like that in America. You're not supposed to talk about politics, and you're not supposed to talk about religion. Those are two taboo subjects.
Mm,
Some people say you're not supposed to talk about sex. That's the third one.
mm,
That really depends on the person, though. But I think in Japan, there's more things, more taboo subjects that are not
yeah.
appropriate to talk about.
I studied the money system of Japan
Mhm.
and during summer vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know about Japanese money system. It's really need us because we have to pay tax
Mm-hmm.
about insurance,
Mm-hmm.
about money,
Mm.
about
Yeah, you have to pay a lot, right?
yeah.
And
But I didn't know that Japanese have to teach the children what is the Japanese money system.
Right.
So it's I feel like taboo.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing that's really interesting is in America, like you're not supposed to talk about politics,
Mm.
right? And because people don't talk about it, it boiled up and it became a huge problem, like a big bomb, right? In Japan too, people don't talk about politics. Not
No.
not very much.
I feel like if I vote people, I don't know what is change the next.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the things I make this point to a lot of students
Mhm.
here. You look at Europe and you look at Japan. Okay. Do you know how much college students pay in Europe?
I don't know
Can you guess?
how much money.
For tuition for college.
Same or
In Japan.
mm,
Okay. They pay zero.
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 It's
Free.
from tax.
Yeah. Taxes are high. That's
Mhm.
what everybody says. Taxes in Europe are high. But college tuition is free.
Mm,
Right? The reality is, taxes in Europe are very similar to taxes in Japan.
mm.
They're almost the same. But who benefits from that money?
From
Japanese taxes. Who gets the most?
government. No. Tax. I don't know.
Do you live with your grandparents?
Mm.
Yeah, you live close to your grandparents?
No, they live in Mie and Kagoshima.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Nagoya,
Mm.
old people, they do not pay for their transportation. Their transportation
Oh yeah.
for bus pass,
Yeah.
train pass is free.
Yeah. I understand what you want to say.
Yes. So who benefits from the tax money?
Older people.
That's right. Why?
A lot of older people in Japan.
Not just that. A lot of people, older people in Japan, yes. There are older people in Europe too.
Mhm.
But what else is different?
Young people not interested in politics.
There you go. There you go. In Japan, young people are not interested in politics. And it shows where the government's priorities are. Whereas in Europe, who votes?
Young people.
Why? College is free.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right? So if you want something from your government,
Mm.
you have to vote. You have to show them, hey, I am here and I will make my voice heard. If you don't do that, they won't listen to you. They won't do anything for you. Because old people vote. In Japan, old people get free healthcare. Old people get free transportation. They get free day service. But you guys have to pay really expensive university tuition. You guys are getting into debt before you guys work. Why? Whereas in Europe, it's free.
Politics know the how old people vote the
Yes.
no.
Yeah, they know. Old people vote. Therefore, they give old people stuff. And then old people are more willing to vote because they're getting stuff. Like this last election, the Nagoya election, Kawamura Shicho, he won, right? Why?
He won what?
He won the election to become mayor of Nagoya. Why? Dojin pass. The bus pass for old people. That was his idea. There you go. If you have a candidate that appeals to young people and then young people vote for him, things will change. But so long as that doesn't happen, things will stay the same. Or it'll get better for old people. So that's the kind of thing I want to leave you with. Yeah. I mean, it's a problem in America too. It's not just a Japan problem, it's a problem in America. Europe is really weird in that all the young people are so involved. I'm jealous.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If our young people vote, about how can I say, vote good benefits for young people.
Yeah.
Young people, I don't know. So it's gonna be changed.
I think so. I mean,
You say the college fee is 0.
yeah.
It's reality. It has a
It
reality.
happened in Europe.
Oh yes.
It happened in Europe, right? You have an example of what can happen if young people vote, and you see it in Europe. Were old people upset? Of course. They were really mad. But it happened because young people went to vote. If you look at how many old people there are in Japan, everybody says old people in Japan, there's a lot of them. And then there's very few young people. That is true if you only count 40-year-olds, right? Or 30-year-olds. But if you count 18, 20, 30, 40, that group is bigger than the old people. So you guys could change things if everybody kind of voted together.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Like, if you can get your friends and all of your close friends to vote together, then that's really good. But just one person is not going to be enough. It's hard.
I feel government makes me control something.
Right.
Yeah.
The government is definitely trying to do that. And I think the only way to make them know that you care is to vote and say, no, this is the person I voted for. You know, listen to this guy.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know when the next election in Japan. I think it's coming soon. Right. So be very, very conscious of who your representative is and what they are for, and see if there's anything you can do to change that situation, at least for your city.
But compared with the older people and young people, Japan has a lot of older people.
That's right.
The younger people, if younger people vote somebody, but young people can win the older people.
The one thing that I will remind you is don't underestimate the power of your voice. Okay? If, like you said, older people win, yeah, that's too bad. But if enough younger people vote, then the politicians will be conscious of that and say, young people are voting. Let's try to make them happy so that we can stay in power. If enough young people vote against these older people, that might give them a reason to give you stuff, to keep you voting for them. It happened in Europe.
Yes.
It happened in Europe.
Yeah. I definitely vote next time.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. All right, dude. Thank you very much for today.
Yes, thank you.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Cool.